at you live with the Gophers postcast. The Gophers take down Nebraska, number 25 Nebraska, 24-6. The Gophers are currently storming the field. I don't know if I agree with that one, but we're going to dive into the entire game here at the Gopher Broke Pod. What up? You are listening to the Gopher Broke podcast. We are in the press box here at the Gophers game. The fans are storming the field. The Gophers win the game 24-6 against Nebraska, number 25 Nebraska. But let's talk about this. First things first, Tristan Spanford, my co-host on the show, is big timing. He is missing this live postcast because he is in Dallas right now hanging out with NFL players. He used the early flight excuse, but it's all good. He tapped in for the game. We'll rag on him a bit. Next show, he popped in now. I did not expect this happening. He jumps in the building. Tristan Spanford is here. Well, I got to ask you how you feeling, my guy.
Yo, I'm feeling wonderful. I'm trying to be quiet. I got a hotel room full of attempting to sleep people. We had an early flight today.
See, I was gonna rag on you. I said early flight. Like, all right, bro, all right. But he is in here.
Come on,
He's
man.
coming in the clutch with the shaded face and all. We'll let him dive in. We'll tap in here. He caught me off guard. But first things first, I need to apologize to my fellow Gopher fans because that Purdue game, it had me shook. It had me doubting this defense's ability. And I will happily eat crow here on the podcast. I predicted a Gophers loss on this one, and they absolutely responded, played a big boy game, and the defense came to play from the jump. They held the number 9 passing offense in the country to under 180 passing yards. Sack City here in Dinkytown with 8 total sacks, 2 by Anthony Smith, 2 by Carter Mentz, 2 by Jackson Howard, 1 by Devin Eastern, and 1 by Matthew Kingsbury. Tristan Spanford, where did this defense come from?
Brother, I have never felt so good about being so wrong because we did not have our thumb on the pulse of this game. That defense came out flying. The offensive line did its job. Everyone looked great. Like, this was a very fun game to watch. And then we didn't even get that scary moment at the end of most Gopher games where it's like, okay, when are the wheels going to fall off? When's this going to fall apart? It didn't even happen. It was never a question. Like, that D line tonight, what did we end up with? Was it 9 sacks?
I think it was 8. I think it was 8, but still,
8.
it was 8.
Oh my God. It was insane. Like, it feels good. It just feels good. This was a very, very solid win.
All right, before we carry on with some of this more Nebraska talk and whatnot, I got to ask you, how do you feel knowing the fans stormed the field for this one? Number 25, I get that. But, bro, like, we talked about owning Nebraska. We talked about this 7-1 against Nebraska. Why are we storming the field then? What?
I almost texted you because I looked at my 13-year-old when we started. I was like, this is not a storm the field game, right? And he's like, no, not a chance. Like, no, you can't storm the field. I'll tell you what, it wasn't a full storm. It was a soft storm. It was mostly the student section. It wasn't like the Penn State.
It is grown.
When we stormed the field at Penn State.
I want to confirm to you, it has grown. The entire crowd is out there on the field now. This is going to make the press conference so much
Never
later.
mind.
I am not a fan of this whatsoever.
It's tough. I mean, it's a ranked opponent. It's probably our own. I mean, Oregon. I mean, hey, you catch me by this time next week. I'm gonna be back on thinking we can beat Oregon. So
but Oregon's on the road, so you can't storm for that one, even if it happened.
That's true. You're right. So I mean, this is probably our only ranked win at home. Like, it's not going to hurt you in the recruiting process. And what's a fine to these colleges? They got a ton of money. Pay the fine, sign the check. It's whatever.
A fine is NIL opportunities that are going out the window. That's what a fine is. We could have used that towards NIL. Anyways, we're going to move back to the game. Dylan Raiola, look, Dylan Raiola has been a guy that, he showed amazing upside. He had some Patrick Mahomes flipping it out or whatever. Like, there were some things that made you go, what is going on? How did he do it? And then there's the extreme lows of him holding the ball far too long, taking 8 sacks, just dropping to the ground at times, seeing ghosts. Like overall, you know, I think this defense had Dylan Raiola in hell, straight up, straight up. He was scared. He was struggling in this one. And I think overall, the Nebraska team just did not come to play in this one. Now, on the flip side for the Gophers offense, I think they started way too conservative. Like it was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna just take 3 yard runs, and if we don't get it, we'll punt it. We're gonna play that old school Big Ten 7-3 type game if we have to play it. And I got respect for that, but I feel like this offense, you talked about it being a special passing offense and things like that. I get you want the running game to start going, but there was just times early on where it felt far too conservative, but it switched up in the third quarter, and I was happily surprised to see that.
No, yeah, definitely. I think you texted me and you were like, Drake's taking some shots right now, and it was iffy, but I kind of like it. I mean, he showed that he was confident in his guys, and receivers were making big time catches tonight. Like some of those throws that Drake was making were not easy throws and not easy catches. So I think it kind of showed like he's like, hey, if we're taking a shot, I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna go for the good throw here, and a couple of them, you could tell he was looking for a pass interference. And I think the refs actually did a decent job of not really calling the tic-tacky, pass interferences. So, but I agree with you. Like, it did start out slow. Like, we're going to try to run, run, run. But in the third quarter, it definitely picked up a little bit.
Shout out to the listener over on YouTube, said he did not see this coming. I'm with you. I'm with you. Tristan spent 14 on this one coming, but I did not. Also, if you are commenting on Twitter, we're looking into how to get that fixed, but I feel like they're not showing up right now. Tristan tried it out last week and it wasn't working. But if you want to make a comment, head over to YouTube and drop them there. But let's talk about where it flipped, because I think in the third quarter is where this thing really flipped for the Gophers. They were up 7-6, but they were on the 2 yard line starting a drive, drove the ball 98 yards in a 9-minute drive, and it really flipped the entire game, I think, from that point forward. The only thing I was really kind of questioning is they score the football on that drive. So they take a 13-6 lead, and you can either go for two or kick the extra point and go 14-6. But if you go for two, it turns into a 9-point game, which is a 2-score lead. But if you don't convert that 2-point conversion, you're still up a full touchdown, a full 7 points. So I was just really surprised that PJ Fleck didn't take the shot to kind of go for two in that point, especially because that drive, you just drove 98 yards and everything was working. You were not getting stopped. So that was the one thing that I was like, I wish we would have been a little bit more aggressive there, because maybe it helps your team feel like you put it away sooner. But the defense held strong once again. They get the ball back again and they score. So it ended up working out. I guess you can't get mad at a win.
No, I think it was more of he definitely showed that he trusted his defense, and the defense did their job. No touchdowns, like it I think that it goes to show a lot of the confidence he has in the D, because when you don't go for that, you're like, I'm not worried about it. And at the time, there was even a couple of fourth downs early in the game where I'm like, okay, like this Nebraska team's good. Like we should probably go for it here. Like 4th and 1, go for it. 4th and we third and 3, and we're running the ball and kind of still being conservative. Where I'm like, okay, we got to be aggressive, because Nebraska might not be this slow the whole game. And he just trusted the defense, and the defense played their asses off. They played so well.
Yeah, we had a curveball at the beginning of this one. John Nestor announced that he was out and he would not be playing. He's been the Gophers cornerback one for most of the year so far. Then later in the game, Zaquan Bryan got hurt, but he came back after a play. Then later in the game, Giante McMillan got hurt.
Some big plays tonight.
Big plays. Shout out Zaquan. Big plays. Giante McMillan gets hurt later in this game, another cornerback going down. So that's something to be on the lookout for, because we cannot afford to lose any more players in our secondary. But next up, Tristan, is Iowa. Next up is the big one on the road. Thankfully, their quarterback is more of a dual threat and less of a true arm talent to pick you apart. So hopefully that can play in the Gophers' favor. But how are we feeling heading into Iowa? 5-2. Anything's possible, right?
Hey. Dog, you know me. This time, by the time we record next week, I will be all about how badly we're about to whoop Iowa. I'll talk myself into it. I mean, if the defense plays like this, that's all we can go off of is how well we have played. What have you done for us lately? And if this is the team that comes out against Iowa, I am confident that we can win.
I feel you. I feel you. Iowa's going to play tomorrow. They are playing at 6 p.m. They are at home, but they're taking on Penn State, who recently fired their coach. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond there. But we could be talking about a Gophers Iowa matchup with both teams at 5-2. That would be a big time one. I'm guessing that
Right.
that game would then end up at the 3 o'clock window or something. Maybe later. I know Michigan State, I think it has to be an earlier game. So we'll see what happens there. But overall,
Great
it
talking
will
points for us.
be, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you beat. Oh, sick! You beat Penn State this year. They're not that good. Oh, you lost to Penn State. Like they're not that good. Like
You're not wrong. It's a win-win scenario for the Gophers right now.
exactly.
But otherwise, I think Iowa's still a team you cannot overlook moving into next week. So they're still going to have to come and bring the energy right away. The defense came to play right away tonight. Hopefully they can do that on the road as well. But we've only seen the Gophers play in 2 road games so far, and they have been our 2 losses so far. So hopefully that's not something that continues to go that way. Hopefully they can respond on the road. It feels kind of closer to home. It's only like a drive as opposed to a flight across the continent or
Yeah,
across the
exactly.
country and whatnot. But I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to say the least. I want to ask you, what was your play of the game for the Gophers game today?
Oh, I think it was that first that the or not the first. Was it the second touchdown? The second touchdown over the shoulder. Was that to
Oh, the
whatchamacallit?
Lemecki Brockington touchdown, that one.
Yes, yes. I think that I don't know that kind of the pull away touchdown, and it was coasting from there. That or defensive wise, I mean that D line had so many plays tonight that just set the tone. I was gonna say I had so many times where I just kept saying I hate Dylan Royola. I hate Dylan Royola. I said it so many times. He is very good, and like I said last week during the show, he is playing great football. But the plays he was making, the left-handed throw, the little throw when he's parallel to the ground, I was like, you got to be kidding me. This has to
Yep.
stop. Somebody needs to stop this man.
Dude, corny Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you right now, like he's doing the imitating, but some of it actually looks like it. My
It's
play of the game would
crazy.
be the Darius Taylor 71-yard run. I feel like that breakaway really got this Gophers team starting to believe in themselves on the offensive side
Oh,
of the ball.
absolutely.
So that was a huge one. As for player of the game, I said the entire Minnesota defensive line. Like they balled out. 8 sacks speaks for
Everybody got a
itself.
sack. It was Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey was handing out sacks tonight. You get one. You get one. You get one. It was crazy.
Yes, yes, I feel it. Shout out my boy Carter Menz. He is just coming
Yeah.
more and more clutch. Young dude. I'm excited to see how he continues to grow with the program. But here's the biggest thing. We have to build on this moment. You cannot revert at
Yeah.
all in any area. It was a night and day difference from the Purdue and the Ohio State games. So you got to maintain that pressure on the D line like you had tonight. You got to have secondary play strong like they did. They held their own to let the defensive line get there. And then the running game has to continue to find success. If you can continue to stack those wins and not go backwards, I think you've got a chance against Iowa next week. I think you've got a good chance against Michigan State. I think you've got a chance against Wisconsin and Northwestern. That's 4 more games. You could be looking at a 9-win team, and who knows what happens with Oregon. I still haven't found a way to talk myself back into that one. But if you play to your ability, you can legitimately look at a 9-win regular season.
No, absolutely. I think I say it all the time. Like it is such an emotional battle with college football players because they're storming the field right now, and this feels like you just won a national championship, but you didn't. This was a regular season win, and you have to find a way to come down off that emotional high and refocus yourself onto the next week. And I think that is a huge thing with this younger Gopher team.
Yeah, for sure. And we cannot call it like winning a national championship because there were like a third of Nebraska Cornhusker fans in this stadium, which was unacceptable. It was raucous. The Gophers fans still showed up. The student section was big. But when I'm hearing Go Big Red chants, I was like, no, this can't happen. This is our house. What are we doing here?
It's tough. It's so tough. And yeah, not obviously this was not I this Nebraska team was not as good as we had assumed. Tonight they were not. And it's not. But yes, we have to find a way. We have to find a way to resettle, and get back to okay. Now it's Iowa week. 0-1. We're 0-1,
Yeah.
or
All
0
right.
0-0 in Iowa
Oh and
week.
oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't lose any games. We
Yeah,
didn't lose
0-0.
any. Uh,
You try to find a win in Iowa.
Final thoughts here. Do you have any worries walking away from this game? Anything that popped up on your radar that you're like, I'm a little concerned about this as we move forward?
It's got to be the slow starts. The slow start is still something we've kind of you've been banging the drum for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That we it'd be nice to kind of get out hot, start hot, and not have to build up into these wins. And that's kind of feels like the trend of the season so far, at least in our wins. So to get going right away might feel good. There might not even be 6 points on the board for Nebraska if we can come out firing and playing how we finish these games.
Yeah, that's a great point. My only worry outside of what you brought up is the health of the secondary. We're definitely going to need them moving forward. Maybe not as much against Iowa. We'll see. I haven't looked at Iowa too much this season, but overall, if we can stay healthy there and continue to play consistently, I think we've got a chance on the road here. But that should do it for us. Drake Lindsay had a decent game, 20 passing attempts, 16 completions, 153 yards, one touchdown. That's 80% completion overall. Darius Taylor, dude, I swear he has the quietest games. Like, yes, he had 71-yard rush, but I mean, he had 148 total rushing yards. So he had like
Oh,
more than
wow.
70 yards beyond that big run.
Oh yeah, I love that. And it felt like though also like it wasn't we were still spreading out the work at running back. Like Fami Ijibo definitely got his amount of carries as well to where it wasn't feeling like not that Darius needs some carries. Like I'm not worried about that, but it felt like we were still spreading out that work where that wasn't quite. I had no clue he had that many yards. That's nuts.
Yep, 148 rushing yards, and he had 16 receiving yards. But I think we should end on this note. I think Nick said it best. We're going to show that up again. We own Nebraska, 7-1 against Nebraska in the PJ Fleck era. Look, until you come and claim the throne, it's a wrap. But that's going to do it for us here at the Go for Broke live postcast. Be sure to follow us over on YouTube, over on Twitter, or wherever you get your podcast. Leave a 5-star review. We will be breaking down this game and recap and then getting ready for Iowa about Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. So be sure to hit subscribe, and then we'll hit the live postcast against Iowa next week. Hope to see you there. Thank you so much for tapping in. Roll the boat, Sky. You might go Gophers as always. And please don't forget to hit subscribe.